Okay, well, if everybody's in place, good evening, everyone. We do have a quorum for today's special session, Wednesday, April 14th. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Rollo, Bolin, Rosenbarger, Scambolery, Sims,
Here.
Flaherty,
Here.
Piedmont Smith,
Here.
Smith,
Here.
and Sandberg.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, and I know I just started. It's okay, I'll just wait just a few more seconds. Give our colleagues a chance to log in if we're trying. Okay, we'll get started. I think they'll log in. We just completed the roll call, and the agenda summation for the day is that we have 10 ordinances, legislation for first reading today. They are ordinance 21-15 to amend Title 20 Unified Development Ordinance of the Bloomington Municipal Code regarding technical corrections set forth in Bloomington Municipal Code 20-02, 20-04, 20-06, and 20-07. Next item is ordinance 21-16 to attend Title 20 Unified Development Ordinance of the Bloomington Municipal Code regarding corrections set forth in Bloomington Municipal Code 20.02. Then we have ordinance 21-17 to amend Title 20 Unified Development Ordinance of the Bloomington Municipal Code regarding corrections set forth in Bloomington Municipal Code 20.03. We then have ordinance 21-18 to amend Title 20 Unified Development Ordinance of the Bloomington Municipal Code regarding corrections set forth in Bloomington Municipal Code 20-04. Moving on, ordinance 21-19 to amend Title 20 Unified Development Ordinance of the Bloomington Municipal Code regarding corrections set forth in Bloomington Municipal Code 20-05. Next one's ordinance 21-20 to amend Title 20 Unified Development Ordinance of the Bloomington Municipal Code regarding corrections set forth in BMC 20-06, Bloomington Municipal Code 20-0.06. Next ordinance 21-21 to amend Title 20 Unified Development Ordinance of the Bloomington Municipal Code regarding corrections set forth in Bloomington Municipal Code 20.07. Next ordinance is ordinance 21-22 to amend Title 20 Unified Development Ordinance of the Bloomington Municipal Code regarding removal of residential estate RE and amendment to residential large lot R1 zoning district set forth in Bloomington Municipal Code 20.02, 20.03, 20.04, 20.05, 20.06, and 20.07. We have ordinance 21-23 to amend Title 20 Unified Development Ordinance of the Bloomington Municipal Code regarding regulations related to dwelling duplex, dwelling triplex, and dwelling fourplex set forth in Bloomington Municipal Code 20.03 and 20.04. And finally, we have ordinance 21-24 to repeal and replace the official zoning map within Title 20 of the Bloomington Municipal Code entitled Unified Development Ordinance. Then we'll move to matters of council schedule, and then we will have adjournment to be followed immediately by committee of the whole. Okay, we do have, I'm sorry, Councilmember Flaherty.
Mr. President, I move that ordinance 2115 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only.
Second.
has been moved and seconded that ordinance 21-15 be introduced, read by the clerk by title and synopsis only. Will the clerk please read?
Ordinance 21-15 to amend Title 20, Unified Development
Point of
Ordinance.
order. Mr. President, I believe we should go to a roll call vote on the motion to introduce, and then at which point we could proceed with the synopsis.
I'm sorry, I apologize. And we'll do that for each ordinance.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I thought things were a little different this evening. Thank you. It's been moved and properly seconded. Will the clerk please call the roll?
I'm sorry about that. Councilmember Sims,
Yes.
Flaherty,
Yes.
Piedmont Smith,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Sandberg,
Yes.
and Scambolery.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That motion was adopted. Will the clerk please read?
Ordinance 21-15 to amend Title 20, Unified Development Ordinance of the Bloomington Municipal Code regarding technical corrections set forth in BMC 20.02, 20.04, 20.06, and 20.07. The synopsis is, this petition contains corrections to errors in the new UDO. These errors range from misplaced or missing references to incorrect numbers to terminology correction to missing text. There are 16 corrections identified, some appearing multiple times in the code.
Thank you. Councilmember Flaherty.
My apologies. I think I'm preemptive. I was going to move to introduce 2116, but I think referral is in order first to committee or otherwise. So I apologize for jumping the gun.
I'm sorry. I thought with earlier discussions, I could just do that by group. But thank you very, very much. Ordinance 21-15 will be referred to Committee of the Whole immediately following this meeting. Yeah, go ahead, Councilmember Flaherty.
I was going to move introduction of 2116. It's also
Thank you. I was going to say I see no other council action. So thank you.
Sure. So, Mr. President, I move ordinance 2116 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded that ordinance 21-16 be read by synopsis and title only. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Flaherty,
Yes.
Piedmont Smith,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Sandberg,
Yes.
Scambolery,
Yes.
and Sims.
Yes. And that is adopted 6-0. It's been moved or will the clerk please read?
Ordinance 21-16 to amend Title 20 Unified Development Ordinance of the Bloomington Municipal Code regarding corrections set forth in BMC 20.02. The synopsis is, this petition clarifies a regulation in the new UDO related to the step back requirement in the mixed use downtown zoning district.
Thank you. And I will refer 21-16 to the Committee of the Whole immediately following this meeting as well. Okay, seeing nothing else from colleagues. Councilmember Flaherty.
Mr. President, I move that ordinance 2117 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second that ordinance 21-17 be read by the clerk, title and synopsis only. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Piedmont Smith,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Sandberg,
Yes.
Scambolery,
Yes.
Sims,
Yes.
and Flaherty.
Yes.
Thank you. That is adopted 6-0. Will the clerk please read?
Ordinance 21-17 to amend Title 20 Unified Development Ordinance of the Bloomington Municipal Code regarding corrections set forth in BMC 20.03. The synopsis is this petition clarifies and amends regulations in the new UDO related to use regulations.
Thank you. I will refer ordinance 21-17 to the committee of the whole meeting immediately following this special session. Councilmember Flaherty.
Yes, Mr. President, I move that ordinance 21-18 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved. Ordinance 21-18 be read by the clerk or introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Sandberg,
Yes.
Scambolery,
Yes.
Sims,
Yes.
Flaherty,
Yes.
and Piedmont Smith.
Yes.
Thank you. Will the clerk please read?
Ordinance 21-18 to amend Title 20 Unified Development Ordinance of the Bloomington Municipal Code regarding corrections set forth in BMC 20.04. The synopsis is this petition clarifies and amends regulations in the new UDO related to development standards and incentives.
Thank you. Ordinance 21-19 will be referred to the committee of the whole immediately following this meeting as well. Thank you. I'm sorry, 21-18. Sorry, I'm ahead of myself on the schedule as well. Thank you. Councilmember Flaherty.
I move that ordinance 21-19 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved that ordinance 21-19 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Sandberg,
Yes.
Scambolery,
Yes.
Sims,
Yes.
Flaherty,
Yes.
Piedmont Smith,
Yes.
and Smith.
Yes.
Thank you. That is adopted 6-0 as well. Will the clerk please read?
Ordinance 21-19 to amend Title 20 Unified Development Ordinance of the Bloomington Municipal Code regarding corrections set forth in BMC 20.05. The synopsis is this petition contains language to sync standards with transportation plan guidance and clarifies language related to new single-family or plex residential lots, as well as language related to common areas for environmentally sensitive areas. There are 5 corrections identified.
Thank you. I will refer ordinance 21-19 to the committee of the whole meeting immediately following this special session as well. Councilmember Flaherty.
President, I move that ordinance 21-20 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved to second and ordinance 21-20 be read by title and synopsis only by the clerk. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Scambolery,
Yes.
Sims,
Yes.
Flaherty,
Yes.
Piedmont Smith,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
and Sandberg.
Yes.
Thank you. That is adopted or passes 6-0. Will the clerk please read?
Ordinance 21-20 to amend Title 20 Unified Development Ordinance of the Bloomington Municipal Code regarding corrections set forth in BMC 20.06. The synopsis is this petition clarifies and amends regulations in the new UDO related to administration and procedures of the UDO.
Thank you. I will refer ordinance 21-20 to the committee of the whole immediately following this special session. Councilmember Flaherty.
Mr. President, I move that ordinance 21-21 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved to second that ordinance 21-21 be read by the clerk by title and synopsis only. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Sims,
Yes.
Flaherty,
Yes.
Piedmont Smith,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Sandberg,
Yes.
Scambolery.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, I see
And-
Councilmember
yes.
Rosenbarger has joined us. Councilmember Rosenbarger.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. That passes 7-0. Will the clerk please read?
Ordinance 21-21 to amend Title 20 Unified Development Ordinance of the Bloomington Municipal Code regarding corrections set forth in BMC 20.07. The synopsis is this petition clarifies and amends regulations in the new UDO related to definitions of the UDO.
Thank you. Councilmember Flaherty.
I believe a
sorry.
committee referral would be in order.
I'm sorry, you're absolutely right. I so want to do the first 8 just in one group, but we will refer ordinance 21-21 to the committee of the whole to be held immediately following this special session. Thank you. Councilmember Flaherty.
Mr. President, I move that ordinance 21-22 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and seconded. Ordinance 21-22 be read by the clerk by title and synopsis only. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Flaherty,
Yes.
Piedmont Smith,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Sandberg, I'm sorry, Sandberg,
Yes.
Rosenbarger,
Yes.
Scambolery,
Yes.
and Sims.
Yes. That passes 7-0. And ordinance 21-22 will be referred to the committee of the whole to be held immediately after this special session. Okay, and before we move, go
Point
ahead,
of order,
Councilmember Flaherty.
Mr. President. I believe we missed the reading of the title and synopsis on that particular ordinance, unless I got lost somewhere there. Is that right, Ms.
Oh,
McDowell?
I think you may be right. Will the clerk please read?
Ordinance 21-22 to amend Title 20 Unified Development Ordinance of the Bloomington Municipal Code regarding removal of residential estate, RE, and amendment to residential large lot, R1, zoning districts set forth in BMC 20.02, 20.03, 20.04, 20.05, 20.06, and 20.07. And the synopsis is this petition removes the RE zoning district regulations from the UDO and combines the uses of the RE and R1 zoning districts into the R1 zoning district.
Thank you. And before we move forward, I think it would be appropriate at this time to announce that these first 8 ordinances have been introduced, and the council may consider any of these 8 ordinances during the next 2 committee of the whole meetings. And those are tonight, 4/14. The next meeting is 2 weeks from now, April 28th. Councilmember Flaherty, do we proceed?
Yes, I believe so. Mr. President, I move that ordinance 21-23 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second that ordinance 21-23 be read by the clerk by title and synopsis only. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Piedmont Smith,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Sandberg,
Yes.
Rosenbarger,
Yes.
Scambolery,
Yes.
Sims,
Yes.
and Flaherty.
Yes.
Thank you. And that passes, I do believe, 1, 2, 3, 7-0. Okay, will the clerk please read?
Ordinance 21-23 to amend Title 20 Unified Development Ordinance of the Bloomington Municipal Code regarding regulations related to dwelling, duplex, dwelling, triplex, and dwelling fourplex set forth in the BMC 20.03 and 20.04. The synopsis is this petition amends regulations related to the uses dwelling duplex, dwelling triplex, and dwelling fourplex, including in which districts they are permitted or conditional and their use specific standards.
Thank you. Ordinance 21-23. I'm looking through the screen and I will refer those or that ordinance to the committee of the whole to commence immediately after this special session. Councilmember Flaherty.
Sure. A point of information, Mr. President.
Yes.
Did you intend to send ordinance 2123 to the committee of the whole meeting this evening? Because I don't believe it's on the agenda, or did you intend to send it to the committee of the whole meeting on April 28th?
You're absolutely right. It is scheduled, this one and the next one, for the meeting on April 28th.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Okay, are we ready for 21-24? Councilmember Flaherty.
Believe so. Mr. President, I move that ordinance 21-24 be introduced and read by the clerk by title and synopsis only.
Second.
Thank you. Been properly moved and second. Ordinance 21-24 be read by the clerk by title and synopsis only. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Sandberg,
Yes.
Rosenbarger,
Yes.
Scamboluri,
Yes.
Sims,
Yes.
Flaherty,
Yes.
and Piedmont Smith.
Yes.
Thank you. That was passed 7-0. Will the clerk please read?
Ordinance 21-24 to repeal and replace the official zoning map within Title 20 of the Bloomington Municipal Code entitled Unified Development Ordinance. The synopsis is this ordinance repeals and replaces the official zoning map incorporated by reference into the UDO.
Thank you. And I will refer ordinance 21-24 to the committee of the whole, next scheduled for April 28th. And I believe that ends our first readings. Councilmember Piedmont Smith.
Yes, I have a question. So the two most controversial ordinances have been referred to the committee of the whole meeting on April 28th. And I believe that unless it's referred to two committee of the whole meetings, there has to be a report back to the full council on May 5th. So what happens if we do not reach a do pass recommendation on April 28th?
I'll pass that over to council or our council staff, Mr. Lucas.
Yes, thank you. If the council on May 5th is not ready to vote on either of those items, it's got a number of options available to it. The council could continue either or both of those items to a third reading on a later date. The council could schedule a further special session to consider either of those items. But it's certainly been frequent in the past where an item did not receive a recommendation or a majority of members didn't vote one way or the other on an item at committee of the whole, either because there was work left to do, amendments to prepare, and at the following regular session, the council can then decide whether it's ready to vote on that date. But on April 28th, if the committee of the whole doesn't make a recommendation, the item would still return to the full council May the 5th, and then the full council would get to decide from there what to do with it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any further questions? Okay, thank you. Next item on the agenda is matters having to do with council schedule. Mr. Lucas.
Yes, thank you. You all just handled a bit of council scheduling and introducing those 10 UDO related items. I do want to offer a reminder that the second meeting, technically, of the Jack Hopkins Committee will be held next Tuesday, and that committee will be reviewing the applications that were submitted recently by area agencies. Next Wednesday, we also have a work session. And excuse me, I'm seeing Councilmember Rallo has joined the meeting now. There's a work session next Friday that we can discuss further at the regular session next week. And obviously just a reminder that next Wednesday is a regular session. And I believe in referring the first 8 items that were introduced tonight to the next 2 committees of the whole, that allows the committee to vote on any of those 8 it's ready to take a vote on tonight, to roll over any of those first 8 items that it may not get to tonight to the April 28th meeting. So next Wednesday's agenda will include any of those items you all do make a recommendation on tonight for final action. So that's all I've got tonight, unless there are any questions.
Councilmember Piedmont Smith.
Yes, I move that we set an end time for the committee of the whole meeting to this evening for 10:30 p.m.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and second that we set a hard stop time this evening, 10:30, and that is for today's, Councilmember Piedmont Smith, just for clarification, for today's meeting only,
Yes.
in this discussion. Thank you. Do we have any questions from council? Okay. Councilmember Flaherty, do we go to the public on this motion?
No, I don't believe so.
I don't think so. Thank you. Okay, do we have any final comments by council? Okay, it's been properly moved in second. Will the clerk please call the roll? The motion is to set the hard stop time this evening for 10:30.
Councilmember Sandberg,
Yes.
Rallo,
Yes.
Rosenbarger,
Yes.
Scambolery,
Yes.
Sims,
Yes.
Flaherty,
Yes.
Piedmont Smith,
Yes.
and Smith.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that passes 8-0. Do we have any other questions? If not, I accept the motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. We properly moved in second. The committee of the whole will commence immediately following this meeting. Thank you.